keep telling us that we should care what happens to New York City, and the failed theater kids are taking over the city, and I say let the whole thing turn into a Hamilton performance for all I care. Let the failed rapper run that shit into the ground.
The number one spice, it's in the morning and roll like a...
If you want a failed rapper who's never had to work a real job to run the city of commerce, by all means, take it away. I just wish I had enough money to buy the effing dip in the New York real estate market.
The number one spice, it's in the morning and roll like a...
Here goes the neighborhood.
Oh, I'm not throwing away my shot. I'm looking for a nice cheap lot. Now's my chance to get in on the real estate game. Just like Trump, maybe it'll catapult me to fame. No, I'm not giving away my shot. I hope Zoran gets that homeless guy a cot. Get him off my fucking lot. Yeah, I'm not throwing away my shot.
Stop it, please, I beg you!
Woo! See, I could have been mayor of New York. Or like a representative in Queens or whatever.
That's not entirely accurate.
I'm Bridget Phetasy, and this is your Dumpster Fire. Welcome to Dumpster Fire, where we make burgers out of your sacred cows. We premiere new episodes every Tuesday and Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Please join us in the chat. And if you want to keep track of everything we do, the best way is to go to Phetasy.com to see all the content we're turning out, which is a lot. Everyone says too much.
Too many notes, Your Majesty.
Exactly. Very well put. Too many notes.
And you know what? It just makes me want to double down because I have oppositional defiance disorder.
There are just as many notes, Majesty, as are required, neither more nor less.
Tax the rich.
The New York City mayoral election is on November 4th, and it looks like Zoran Mamdani is going to win, barring anything major. I can see how Mamdani would be compelling. I get it. Especially like 20-year-old Bridget. He's young and energetic and pandering to every single demographic there is, making promises he can't keep, and it's not grounded in reality. So basically, he's a perfect representation of the Democratic Party right now.
If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. Live free or die. And in conclusion, read my lips.
He can summon whatever suffering, resentment, and grievances that people have, and dumbasses who don't know how things work will vote for him, which is also how we got Trump.
It's well put. It's true.
Although the right wing is more grounded in reality, they were just super mad they couldn't say retard anymore.
Everybody knows you never go full retard.
It's funny this story has taken on a national significance. Obviously, New York City is a large city still in America, but everyone in New York City has main character syndrome, like they're living in their favorite sitcom.
You mess with one of us, you mess with all of us!
They're all out there wearing t-shirts that are like hot chicks for Zoran. And I mean, imagine the kind of delusional confidence that you would need to believe that you're a hot chick. It's the kind of delusional confidence it takes to make it in New York City. I understand why villains are always attacking New York in movies. They kind of deserve it, honestly. They're the most annoying center of attention people on the planet, and I sincerely hope Zoran turns that place into Escape from New York. He wants to close Rikers, and he's going to, and turn New York City into an open-air prison. Someone on X was like, Norm Macdonald's 9/11 joke is about to be elected mayor of New York City.
Well, I can't say my friend's name, but he said his biggest fear is that ISIS or some terrorist group like that will get a hold of a dirty bomb and explode it over a major city within the United States and kill tens of millions of people. Because then the blowback against innocent Muslims would be absolutely terrible.
Zoran talked about how after 9/11, his aunt supposedly quit riding the subways because she did not feel safe in her hijab. And then lots of people were like, oh yeah, My aunt never rode the subway again either after 9/11 because she died after 2 Muslims crashed into the towers. Zoran made this statement. It was just the internet making tons of memes of like, but we must think about hurting Zoran's aunt's feelings. 9/11, we'll post some of them. They're delightfully inappropriate, as memes should be. And then the internet sleuths found out that because it was a random, because journalists can't be bothered to do their job at all. And it turned out his aunt didn't live in New York City after 9/11 and didn't wear a hijab and allegedly lived in Tanzania.
Close enough.
Mom Donnie's aunt was so afraid to wear a hijab after 9/11 that she was too afraid to wear one before 9/11. And I'm looking forward to the entire news cycle where now they're the left wing who's going to have to run cover for this weird, nonsensical lie is just going to have to say that auntie is a term used loosely for every strong woman figure in communities of color and imply that I'm just a racist bigot for not knowing that he was referring to some loosely related cousin or aunt and part of the family, which is now what he's actually come out and saying. He's coming out and clarifying and saying that it was a distant cousin, not his aunt, technically. And for the record, no wave of anti-Muslim hate crimes followed 9/11, not in New York or anywhere else. Although looking back, maybe we should have fired a few warning shots.
Well, let's be nice. Yeah. Let's be nice. We don't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong.
It is amazing. Do you think it's just because the internet didn't exist?
Yeah, I think so. I
mean, the internet existed, but like not the way social it did.
Media. I think it was just a different time. I do think if the internet existed during that, who knows what we would have seen.
Yes, I'm not advocating for violence, but perhaps we could have scared them a little. More than we did. Actually, I think AOC's Tax the Rich Met Gala dress is really the one that's about to win the mayoral race. They were all at Mom Donnie's rally. He filled a stadium, by the way, in Queens, and all these morons were screaming, "Tax the rich! Tax the rich!" Tax the rich! Tax the rich! It's really funny hearing that in New York City, because if you know anything about New York City, you will walk out the door and spend $50 on a bagel and a coffee and just like a subway ride. I feel like anyone who lives there has to be doing way better than I'm doing, even working class. But also, do people not know anything about the French Revolution? I feel like whenever you start going after taxing the rich, and the revolution is rightfully going after these people who, in some ways, are not addressing the concerns of the poors, and the poors get a little feisty, and then they're not being heard, and then they start to riot. But inevitably, they're all going to turn on each other. This is always where this leads.
Let's overthrow the palace and cut all their heads off, said Robespierre, cutting everybody's head off until someone eventually got mad and cut his head off.
It's not going to just stop with the rich. Then it's going to stop with the guy who can afford a bagel with salmon and also a coffee and a ride on the subway. And that was not about the Jews.
I was wondering.
The minute I saw that,
I was like, oh, God. Shit. Oh, was that intentional?
I see good things about Hitler also.
Because that's what immediately popped into my head. Oh, the Jews can afford salmon on their bagel.
Well, weirdly, it will be about the Jews, actually. They will be blaming the Jews, especially if it's Zoran's cohort. All right, I think this is all the fault of AI.
I did not murder him.
At the root of this, we are not talking about the great replacement theory enough. And by the great replacement theory, I'm talking about those clankers that are coming for our jobs.
Roger, 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 roger.
You have all these people being replaced by AI, the elite class that did everything right. They went to the schools, they worked hard, they got their they got their parents to pay for their apartment so they could take that temp job over the summer, and they can't get a job that's elite and doesn't pay very well, and they also can't get a good paying job that is somewhat prestigious, and they're big mad. And they're big mad that their gender studies degree is worthless, and they can no longer work at a glossy website canceling people for sport.
We've all been raised on television to believe that one day we'd all be millionaires and movie gods and rock stars, but we won't. We're slowly learning that fact. We're very, very pissed off.
It's like this weird elite resentment that I think fuels this pro-Mamdani rise. It's these young people who feel left out. And honestly, I don't blame them. We've talked a lot about how they do have some points, okay? I will say it again. Just let people get houses, and all of this will be fixed. Fix the housing market. And for socialism is always like a good solution when people are feeling poor, even though look at Venezuela and go ask them how that worked out for them. It's similar calculus to people voting for Trump in 2016, particularly people who wanted to vote for Bernie and people who maybe voted for Obama and then they voted for Trump and they're all over the place, or Bernie bros who voted for Trump now in 2024. It's populism. It's coming from everywhere. It's just left wing right now, and it's coming from the elite class instead of MAGA. I truly do hope Mamdani wins, though. New Yorkers are getting the person they deserve.
Police, get what you fucking deserve.
AOC did speak at the rally in support of Mamdani, and she was really auditioning for the role of Martin Luther King meets Obama.
This city was built by the Irish escaping famine, Italians fleeing fascism, Jews escaping Holocaust, Black Americans fleeing slavery and Jim Crow, Latinos seeking a better life.
We're not the outlandish ones in New York City. They want us to think we're crazy. We're the sane ones.
We are not the crazy ones, New York City. We are not the outlandish ones, New York City. They want us to think we are crazy, we are sane. They want us to think we are crazy, we are sane.
But we must remember at a time such as this, we're not the crazy ones. My daughter is always asking me why I'm yelling upstairs constantly. I'm like, I'm not crazy. Anytime someone's yelling, we're not crazy, I'm like, you're definitely crazy. It's the hallmark of crazy to be yelling, I'm not crazy. She's yelling, I'm not crazy. She may as well have been carving that shit into a car. AOC, we've said it before, definitely has slash some guy's tire energy. AOC's trying to get into a rhythm and be rousing, and it ends up being kind of cringe, although people get into it. They're like, this is presidential. And this is not. This is just the effect of fucking Hamilton on an entire generation.
I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot.
Everybody wanted to go to that musical when it was playing in New York City because you couldn't get in and it was like the big deal. Everybody wants to be Lin-Manuel Miranda. Everybody wants to have their shot. It just furthers the point that the base of the Democratic Party is people who peaked in theater class. Or maybe they never made it in theater class and they're still trying to make it. For all the talk about all of the right-wingers who, when you understand that right-wingers are just failed Hollywood wannabes, you understand everything. There's a lot of failed Broadway stars energy on the left wing too, okay? But here's what I do know from doing this show for 6 years. People don't like listening to women.
This city was built by the...
Shut up, bitch!
They certainly don't like listening to women preach. People don't want to hear women preach. Men don't want to. Women don't want to either. Look, I'm going after AOC for her. It's the day-to-day. When women get riled up and give their crowd-pleasing speech, it never works. It might explain why Dumpster Fire isn't more popular.
Well, shit.
Actually, it definitely explains it. It's the cringe that everybody silently gives when a woman stands on stage to do stand-up comedy.
Just do women's comedy stuff, talk about how fat you are and how you want to have sex with guys and then say, my vagina a lot.
Female leadership is calmly destroying people. Think Margaret Thatcher, Condoleezza Rice. People liked Michelle Obama too, but that's probably just because of her big dick energy.
Damn!
Before our next segment, don't forget to subscribe, touch my bells and buttons, and tell your friends about us. We hit 100,000, so thank you guys so much. And we shot the Mexican weather report.
Yes, we
That's
did.
Right. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, we did it. And it was fun, and it will launch on Friday's episode, so don't miss it. Join us on Friday after trick-or-treating with your kids. I will be dressed up in my Mexican weather girl for all of you this Halloween. And we will also launch it separately with some fun extras. And you can see most of it behind the paywall if you want to see the whole thing at Phetasy.com. You have to stick around through the ad to see the weather report, though, guys. Sorry, them's the rules. You know that we are deeply concerned about the welfare of your balls here on Dumpster Fire. And Sheath is the underwear of legends, as you've heard, or maybe you haven't. My husband won't wear any other underwear now. He will only wear Sheath. Their patented dual pouch system is revolutionary. It cradles your balls lovingly, of course, in their own pouch, and there's a separate pouch for the genitalia. Keeps everything separate from the legs, so you're nice and comfortable and nothing is sticking together. It's high quality. It can be worn as boxers or brief. Moisture wicking, keeping everything cool and separate, and they're comfortable materials, and on and on and on. They're the best. I don't need to bore you ad nauseum with how much I love them. I wear their booty shorts pretty much every night with a t-shirt to bed. They're my most comfortable PJs, also adorable. And hubby loves the rump in them. And they're just the best company, by the way. We really like supporting them, and you should too. The holidays are coming up, and right now, Sheath is running its Halloween Red Rum sale. Go to Sheath.com and shop the sale for up to 31% off. That's Sheath.com for up to 31% off until October 31st. There's a link in the description below. All right, now let's check the weather with Maite Carranco.
Fuerte, les platico en la región de el noroeste. Condiciones máximas y mínimas. Tenemos cielo muy nublado. En la parte de Tijuana la máxima temperatura rebasará los 26 grados centígrados. Aunque el cielo es muy nublado, como les digo, no hay posibilidad de precipitación. No se me preocupen. Sin embargo, Mexicali y Hermosillo nos vamos con temperaturas bastante elevadas, oscilando los 33, 30.
Thank you, Maite. This fucking guy. Gavin Newsom went on the All the Smoke podcast to brag about his humble beginnings.
But also, it was also about paying the bills, man. And it was just like hustling. Mm-hmm. And so I was out there kind of raising myself, turning on the TV, started, just getting obsessed, sitting there with the Wonderbread and 5 stacks of,
hey, it's like the White Stack 5 story.
I mean, truly, everyone made this comment online, and I will reiterate it. He is definitely doing his best jerk impression.
I was born a poor black child.
Like, what? He's out there saying, like, oh, the Wonderbread. Gavin and AOC, one will slash your tires. One knows what Wonderbread tastes like. Gavin's nickname should be Wonderbread.
Yes.
Newsom's Wonderbread flex is more offensive than Plattner's Nazi tattoo. I'm just going to say it. I know you were all thinking it. He's trying so hard to be everyman, and he's wearing a Burberry scarf in his high school pictures. Can you imagine how pretentious this guy was? We've talked about this before. A scarf. Can you even get your mind around it? He was the guy who was at the French Laundry during the shutdowns when we were all locked in our houses. A restaurant that is so pretentious, it doesn't even have prices on the menu. Because if you need to ask the price of something, you don't belong in that restaurant. All right? That's how rich he is. And the portions are like this big. Newsom said on the podcast, anything anti-woke is racist. It's all anti-black, period. Full stop. Remember just not too long ago when he was interviewing Charlie Kirk and going on his anti-woke podcast tour after the Democrats got trounced in the general election? Yes, that was the same Gavin Newsom that's now saying all anti-woke stuff is racist. He was, in the same breath, he will go on these podcasts and say, oh, it's anti-black, pretending he's from the hood. Oh, when I had my Wonderbread and I was, just throwing basketballs against the wall. What? This is just Newsom code switching. This is like Kamala having a different accent depending on who she's talking to in every interview that she did, wherever she was.
Let's just get through the next 64 days. Have empathy, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. them gonna push and bring me back a goat. Now cook it up.
Throwing the ball against the wall until the ball is just like framed, man.
I don't feel no ways tired.
This is why people like Trump. He could be talking to the king of Saudi Arabia or a coal miner or the king of England, and he's still just Trump, being Trump.
Oh, look at my African American over here.
Good old freaking Trump. Good old reliable Trump. That's what I call him. He's just the same guy no matter what. These people do make me think they're like lizard people that just put on different skin suits depending on where they need to go. Oh, I was a poor guy. What are you talking about? We know you weren't poor. We can go see your pictures from high school. He's just running around doing the podcast circuit early, gearing up for his run for president. And do not underestimate this man. Underestimate him at your peril. Somebody on Twitter said, do not underestimate how many idiots, or something along these lines, how many idiots will vote for Newsom just because he looks like a Hollywood president. I can't wait for the primaries to watch Newsom versus AOC destroy each other.
Let them fight.
She'll call him a racist, privileged white boy, Wonderbread. She'll be like, oh, Wonderbread over here. And he'll imply she's a commie. And they'll end up on the same ticket with her as his Veep. That's what's going to happen. That is the 2028 ticket. I'm calling it now, because America would rather have a king than elect a woman.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm coming around. Trump 2028. He was joking about that today. I mean, maybe he's just trial ballooning it. Maybe he is going to be like, you know what? They stole the election from me in 2020, and I deserve another round. I do kind of get that, like, I was just a poor black child vibe from Gavin, because if you're somebody who is even upper middle class millionaire and you've been raised around billionaires, which he was, the Gettys, where he got all of his money to get into politics, you feel like you're basically poverty stricken.
Apparently he'll leave me $5 million anyway, so I'm golden, baby.
You can't do anything with 5, Greg. 5's a nightmare.
Is it?
This is just millionaires around billionaires. I've been around people like this, and it is wildly hilarious watching someone worth $500 million feel like a poor person around billionaires, because it is like a different league entirely, and they know it.
I'm not a billionaire anymore, Richard. I'm a 986-yonaire, which isn't even a f***ing thing. I'm out of the 3 Comma Club.
The media is flipping out about Trump's decision to tear down the East Wing to build a ballroom. And it's weird that this is such a big story. I'm only covering this because people care, but who cares? Truly, I don't. It's like been such a huge story for weeks, and our government is literally shut down and has been for all of these weeks as well. We have private citizens paying our military, and you guys are worried about a ballroom? Okay, when I put it like that, it is getting a little weird out there. The media can never let Trump just do anything. It has to be a story with them. They have to make it a thing. It can never just be neutral. Everything he does is groundbreaking. See what I did there? Everybody freaked out when they started bulldozing it. So everybody's been going on these unhinged rants about the sanctity of the East Wing and how, oh, I'm getting the vapors because you're destroying this great nation. This is the heart of America. And I'm like, once again, we said this a few weeks ago. No, you guys, you're tearing down statues not too long ago. You suddenly care about the sanctity of our great symbols of democracy and our institutions? You spent 10 years talking about how we're a racist, colonialist, slave-holding nation, and the White House is just representative of that. And suddenly you're like, oh no, we must not destroy this great relic of the president. And every president does this, I guess. Doesn't every president, like, they all... Isn't the East Wing like where JFK got blowjobs in the pool and Obama
built a basketball court?
Why are
I
they
feel
mad?
like the whole thing needs, like, the whole White House is falling apart. It definitely needs a lot of renovations.
It's just a tiny little ballroom.
A ballroom, of course.
A ballroom.
Trump's building a ballroom.
I know, of course, it's a ballroom. I'm sure there's going to be like gold everywhere, and it will obviously be where his coronation is held.
Phetasy News.
If you love Dumpster Fire, the best thing you can do is become a paid supporter of Phetasy.com. You get the unedited version of this Dumpster Fire, and we leave a lot of inappropriate things on the cutting room floor, like most of my inappropriate jokes.
And personal anecdotes.
And personal anecdotes about rich men I dated. Join us on YouTube every Tuesday and Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central for a new Dumpster Fire. Thank you to everyone who helps make Dumpster Fire possible. Truly, thank you, Ben, Kevin, Marlene, and Better Phetasy. Every Dumpster Fire really is a miracle. Thank you, Sheath, for sponsoring today's episode. Please support the people who support us. Thank you to all of you for tuning in. We love you. And thank you, Maggie.
Thank you, Bridget.
And now to cleanse your palate. The internet is glorious.
Here are 36 amazing facts about the 36 genders. The average man spends up to a year of his life staring at women, and 6 months shaving. Also, men were the first to wear high heels in the 1600s, and stopped when women started wearing them to look more masculine. Women speak an average of 20,000 words per day, which is far more than men at 13,000. They also have consistently faster heart rates and blink almost double as often. This gender does not exist. 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 This gender does not.
Remember, life is absurd. Don't take yourself so damn seriously. Take the work seriously. Don't take yourself seriously. This has been your Dumpster Fire. I'm Bridget Phetasy. Now make me rich so I can feel like a poor person amongst billionaires.
And the unicorns dance while the world burns.